problem 1200, which is a easy rated problem, minimum absolute difference. So what this question is saying, okay, if since there's an nums array, which is an array which contain number of integers, and we have to return a list of pairs, in ascending order, in which each pair follows this. uh, if AB is a part of this pair from this array, then A should be lesser than B, and B minus A should be equal to minimum absolute difference. Okay, so this is the important thing: minimum absolute difference of any two elements in the array. First, let's understand what is this minimum absolute difference. So if this is the array 4123, what is the difference between the elements of this array? For example, here the difference is 3, and here the difference is 1, and here the difference is 1. So what is the minimum difference? The minimum difference is 1 in this array. Okay, minimum difference between any two elements in this array is 1. So this is our minimum absolute difference. Okay, and that what it is saying here. Okay, so we have to find any two pairs A and B from this array, list of pairs A and B from this array, whose difference will be equals to this minimum absolute difference, that is B minus A should be equals to this 1. So we have to find all those pairs whose difference is equals to minimum absolute difference from this array. Okay, now these are two parts of this question. First, we have to find first part we have to find the minimum absolute difference, and in second part we have to find all those pairs whose difference is equals to this minimum absolute difference. Now, going to the first part, how we will find this minimum absolute difference. So if this array is 4123, we all know, or we can think that the minimum difference will always be difference between any two elements in the ascending order. If this array is sorted 1 2 3 4, then minimum difference will always, we have to check through a one iteration, like the difference between 1 and 2 is 1, the difference between 2 and 3 is 1, and here the difference is 1. So the minimum difference will always lie between a element at ith index and a element at ith plus 1 index. So for this we have to sort this array, we can think in that direction. So if we'll sort this array and run a loop and check the difference between any two consecutive elements from that array, we will get the minimum absolute difference. Yeah, so that part is clear how we will find this MAD. Moving to the second part. Okay, so second part is how we'll find that a pair A comma B whose difference will be equal to that MAD. So for that also, if that array is sorted, for example here 1 2 3 4, if this array is sorted and we know that our MAD is 1, then we will just have to find those two consecutive elements whose difference is also equals to mad. We can also do it in a single loop. Let's try run on this example. So first we will sort this array. So after sorting, it becomes minus 14, minus 10, minus 4, then 3, 8, 19, uh, 23, and 27. I think it is correct. 448, 448. Yeah. So after sort, this array become this. Now, first part is to find the MAD, minimum absolute difference. So here the difference is 4. We have to find the absolute difference. We have to find the absolute difference. So absolute difference is 4. Here the absolute difference is 6. Here the absolute difference is somewhat 7. Here it is 5. Here it is 11. Here it is 4, and here it is 4. So what is the minimum difference? Minimum is 4. Yeah, this one. So we get our MAD, which is equals to 4. Now we have to find a pair of elements AB whose difference is equals to this MAD 4, which is 4. So uh, here this is one of our pair, which is minus 14 and minus 10. This is one of our pair, which is 23 and 19 and 23. Sorry, and this is one of our pair, which is 27 and 23. So we will get our all pair of elements whose difference is equals to this minimum absolute difference. So we get the intuition what we have to do. Now the question is ki how we will do it in a single loop, because for this we are going through two loops. First we have to find this mad, and then we have to find this absolute pair of elements. Okay, so how we will do it in a single traversal. So for this, let's check the code, and you will get the idea. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is wait. Yeah. So first, what we'll do, we sort this array. Now, after sorting this array, we create a variable, a minimum difference variable that store the maximum that store 10e9. Okay. So we will create a variable with maximum number, and we initialized a 2D vector for storing our answer, and we run our loop from the first index, not zeroth index, from the first index of the array, so that we will get a difference from I minus 1 index. Okay, and we run it through the last element of the array. Now we calculate the current difference between the element at the ith index and element at ith minus 1 index, and if this current difference is lesser than the minimum difference, the minimum difference we initialize with int max, and if it is lesser than the current difference, it means that that is our minimum difference, that is our mad. At that point of time, that is our mad. If that is our mad, what we will do is that we change that minimum difference to that current difference, and we clear that element, that is we clear all those pairs in the answer array, and push back the new set of pair that have mad, which is equals to that current difference, which is lesser than that minimum difference. So we are doing this, and after that, if we will get our mad, if that in future, if any current difference which is equal to our mad, we'll put that pair in our answer vector. So that is how we are doing this in a single loop traversal. Now coming to the time complexity part. For sorting, our complexity is n log n, and here we are running a loop which have a complexity of o of n, and so our total time complexity will be o of n log n plus o of n, which is which is somewhat similar to o of n log n, sorry. So our time complexity O of n log n. Now coming to the space complexity, since we are initializing this answer vector, which can take a vast space of O of n, if all the pairs of the arrays are there in the answer and that have difference equals to mat, that will make this space of this array space of the 2D vector as O of n. So that is will be our space complexity. So our time complexity will be n log n, and our space complexity will be n. So yes, that was a simple solution of this question. Hope you will like my solution. Thank you.